Planet Zoo, Planet Zoo, it's time to play Planet Zoo. Hello, I'm back again. This is Martini 4 here at Planet Zoo at Talbot National Zoo. And today, taking another little break from our river walk and moving to the opposite side of the entrance. And just kind of wanted to spread some things out a little bit. It's getting a little congested going the other direction. So today we'll be working on a Bongo and a Okapi habitat. I know they don't have any kind of reason to go together or what do you call it, like the interspecies enrichment, but they're both in the same type of biome, and I was wanting to keep all of the like hoof style animals on this side of the zoo, again following the design of the St. Louis Zoo. They have what's called the Red Rock section, and they have all of their hoofed animals in that little area. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm starting it off here. And since this isn't a tropical biome, I figured I'd just start with the tropical ones and then work my way out. Over here in the corner, putting in a little water feature for them. Have a little waterfall with just kind of a small pond. They can go in and cool off, get a drink. And then here at the right where I'm putting the fence, I'm just dropping it down just a little bit, just to get the guests a little closer to them and make sure that they won't be able to jump out. So kind of gives it that little bit of extra illusion of height to the fencing once it goes up. Yeah, for the back wall, just building it up with some rocks. Just kind of wanted to block off the view to the outside. I imagine that's where all the parking and rest of the world would be, because I'm at the boundary of the zoo here. So here back at that little water feature, just kind of finishing it out, putting the water in. Again, using the waterfall pieces. I really come to like using those. When I first started playing the game, I wasn't a big fan of them. I don't know. To me, it just kind of seemed like a cheap way to do it. But after playing around with it, I think it looks pretty cool now. And essentially, just that's the way it would be, just making a waterfall within a game anyway. I used to play Zoo Tycoon 2 a lot, and building the waterfalls in that was pretty cool, because you just build the different heights and essentially you place two different lakes, and then you just pull the water to the edge of the top one, and it would create its own little waterfall. But you really didn't have as much control over it as you do in this game. So here, building up the fences, just to keep the guests out, keep the animals in. Just a really simple fence. Nothing too spectacular about it. but it does the job and it looks pretty nice. Fits the design pretty good. And just making sure all my barriers are on the correct side of the fence. And this building here, it's going to be a dual habitat building. So I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the other side just yet. But I just wanted to make it just kind of so the keepers could go in one door and service both habitats at the same time. I figured since it's going to be some sort of hoofed animal, might as well have their barns connected. And here I was just trying to figure out what to do about the fence on the inside. The pre-made ones were just too big, didn't look good enough. So I did this, and I realized that I took out the wrong support post there. I'll have to go back and fix that. Or I might just leave it because no one will really see it. Yeah, keeping most of the inside dirt for the animals. Most of it's going to be for them to get away from the guests. And the design of this building just kind of fell together. I didn't have any idea whatsoever beforehand on what I was going to do. I just started grabbing pieces and throwing them down, and it really took shape quickly. In the end, it kind of reminds me of the depictions of Noah's Ark, to be honest. Kind of just a lucky thing that happened. Yeah, putting in some windows on the top just for some extra lighting. I do all the trim pieces again. This was another day. I was really feeling the building bug, so I kind of went all out detailing things. Putting in all the little extras that no one will probably notice if you're not watching the video, being forced to see it. Yeah, just putting some trim around the windows, make them stand out a little bit. I usually forget to do stuff like this. I know a lot of builders will do all of this stuff beforehand, before they start building the structure itself, so that it's already on the wall and ready to go. But I do things a little bit backwards and just kind of think about it after the fact. And on the inside, I put these beams going across. Don't really know why I did that, because no one's ever going to see it. They're not sticking out the outside of the walls or anything, just there on the inside. So I guess at some point, if I ever do a tour video and I go inside, I'll have to remember to look up so people see that. And then the roof here started to give me a little trouble. But yeah, I just ended up moving that side of the roof up and just putting the eaves on there. Yeah, This building, like I said right there, it looks it looks kind of like Noah's Ark. I do add on to that building a little bit later because I add the keeper hut and a staff break area. So it kind of changes the design up a little bit, but not too much. It still looks pretty good. And then here, messing with the pathing again. I didn't want my main path running up along the fence, clogging it up. So kind of had to break away there a little bit. And then back inside the habitat itself. Working on all the details. Trying to figure out how I want the layout to go. And yeah, I just put in a little rock feature here so the animals could kind of go behind and hide out a little bit. I started laying all these rocks down to line that edge, but I changed my mind. It just looked, I don't know, it just didn't look good. Got that big rhubarb back there. Cover up some of that building. Since I didn't really detail the bottom half of it. Yeah, putting all these palm ferns in. Dropping them down into the rocks like I like to do. And I also like to put the enrichment items in before I get too crazy on decorating, just to make sure I have room for everything. And I wanted to get the animals in there to see what their terrain requirements were. Get everything situated there before I finish out the foliage and decorating with everything. And yeah, I lined the ditch there with these bushes that I will not try to pronounce again, since that was a pretty pathetic attempt a couple of videos ago. And then instead of just having just that whatever that enrichment item is called, just kind of standing there by itself, I wanted to incorporate it a little bit into the design of the habitat. As you saw earlier, I was going to put it in the doorway, but it just didn't look good. The doorway was bigger than that, and I kind of did that with the peccaries anyway, so didn't want to copy my designs too much. I use those big bushes there to just kind of hide the building a little more, hide the entrance for their barn area. And using these logs to kind of bring out my aquascaping side. So we do a lot of using the big branches and stuff like that in aquascaping to stick out of the rocks and make designs and stuff like that. So incorporate that a little bit in my builds here. Dropping down a bunch of leaf litter. I break up some of the terrain, make everything look a little more grown out and used. It's really easy to make these rainforesty habitats look good, because all you got to do is just put down a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's still fun though. Putting down the right amount is a lot harder than just covering every inch of the ground with foliage and rock. Just kind of making some simple education board stands, getting those all set up and situated. Only one of them's working because there's no power. So here is where I use the buildings and stuff to add on. I wanted to use some of the larger ones since this area is going to house quite a few of the hooked animal exhibits. Figured I'd go with the larger staff buildings. They can all use the same ones without getting clogged up. Yeah, I wasn't too sure at the beginning how I was gonna do the roof on this and make it look good, but this was the first try and it actually didn't look bad, so that's how I left it. So yeah, I put some trim around the doors and the windows down here just to kind of make everything match. Which if I wouldn't have added on, I probably wouldn't have put the trim on that doorway down there. I completely forgot about it. Yeah, just changing the colors on the trim for the buildings. Making everything blend in. Putting in the signs. Instead of just sticking them on the wall, I use the little brackets to have them stand out a little bit. And then up here, the wall kept doing that weird little thing. So I had to take that piece and just separate it from the group to keep the wall from glitching out. And then out here, I wanted to do a bit of landscaping and also kind of hide the exhibit from the main path a little bit. Tried out a couple of things here. I was wanting some sort of like maybe statue or fountain, but I couldn't find anything that I really liked. So I just decided to just kind of make my own little flower bed here and fill it in with plants. Kind of sticking with the theme. I had to twist these just a little bit to keep them from glitching through or clipping through the stone bricks down there. And then I figured since I was doing that, why not put in a little bit of a pond. So that's what I did. Put a little pond in there. And then, of course, I have to fill in the entire area with plants to make it match the habitat itself. Yeah, I use these giant, I think they're the bamboo plants, trees, whatever they are, just to help block off the that area a little bit more. Then I was trying to figure out something for a fence. And I ended up just smashing these down into the ground and using them as a low barrier just to keep people out of the landscaping there. They didn't really line up when I got to the end, so just added another little rock formation to cover that up. And then start throwing in a bunch of plants. Those weird looking purple and white ones. I like to use them, but you only really use them in certain places. They look kind of odd, so I don't want them everywhere. Just kind of use them as a focal piece here and there throughout the zoo. And yeah, just kind of searching through everything. I didn't want to use a whole bunch of different stuff, so kind of stuck to just a few different species of plants and spread them out, cover up the whole inside of the fence there. I had to do some more little landscaping around the edges, kind of bring everything together. I'm really liking the way the zoo's turning out. I have a lot left to work on, a lot left to do. Lots of ideas in my head. Hopefully I'll be able to do them all. Hopefully my computer doesn't start lagging too much. So we'll see how that works. So far, none of the zoos I've built, just before I started recording, they never really got very large. This is actually the longest I've played on one zoo. So we'll see how it goes. I think I am coming up here on in cinematics pretty soon. I decided to lower those fences down just a little bit. They look a little too tall. So, yep, there's the Okapi. You saw the Bongo there a little bit earlier. So yeah, here's the in cinematic. And you see the new sign I put up there. I don't know if I really like it or not. If you're watching, let me know what you think about that sign. I like the zoo sculpture part. I added the Talbot National sign on top of it, but I'm not set on it. So let me know what you think. If I should take it out, do something else, leave it. Let me know what you think about the habitat. Give me a like and subscribe. Having a lot of fun building. So I think maybe the next episode will be a little zoo tour on what we have so far. So yeah, I will see you on the next one, guys. Thanks. Bye.